Tommy Egan left New York to build his empire in Chicago. But after everything that went down in Season 2, bloodshed, betrayals, and broken alliances, it's clear the streets of Chicago are just as dangerous, if not worse. The rules are changing. Enemies are watching, and Tommy's war is far from over. Season 2 of Power Book 4, Force took everything we thought we knew and turned it on its head. It started with Tommy trying to build something of his own, a drug empire in a new city, away from the ghosts of New York. But this is Tommy we're talking about. Wherever he goes, trouble follows, and Chicago was no exception. The war between Tommy and the Flynn family became the heart of Season 2. At first, Tommy tried to play it smart, build his operation without stepping on too many toes. But Walter Flynn wasn't having it. As the old-school boss of the Irish mob in Chicago, Walter wanted full control. And the more Tommy pushed into his territory, the more violent things got. Walter's grip on his family began to slip. His daughter Claudia was tired of being treated like she didn't belong at the table. She wanted power, real power, and she wasn't afraid to take risks. Behind Walter's back, Claudia partnered with Tommy to move a new drug called Dahlia. It was high-end, high-profit, and highly dangerous. That partnership didn't last long, but it showed us something important. Claudia was ready to take over, and she wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. Meanwhile, Tommy started forming his own alliances. One of the most important was with Diamond, a former gang leader trying to go straight after a long prison sentence. Diamond wanted peace, but the streets had other plans. His younger brother Jennard wasn't interested in leaving the gang life behind. He wanted to lead their old crew, CBI, into something bigger. And when Diamond backed Tommy instead of him, Jennard took it personally. What followed was a series of deadly power moves. Jennard broke off and tried to run his own corner. Claudia started building her own supply chain. And Tommy, caught between rising enemies and shifting loyalties, kept fighting to stay ahead. One by one, the people closest to him either turned on him, got taken out, or fell deeper into the game. There were some big turning points too. Liliana, one of the few people Tommy really trusted, was killed, leaving him more isolated than ever. Diamond had to make choices that put him at odds with his brother. Claudia became more ruthless. And Walter Flynn, he was slowly losing control of everything he built, even his own children. Then came the cartel connection. The Serbians returned, bringing more heat. Markovic, their cold-blooded leader, wanted revenge after Tommy's earlier attacks. That brought a whole new level of danger to the game. It wasn't just about Chicago anymore, it was about survival on every side. By the time the season ended, Tommy was deeper in than ever. He had no real friends left, only shaky alliances. The drug war had exploded, the streets were soaked in blood, and everyone was looking for an edge. Even the feds were starting to pay attention, hinting at major trouble to come. Season 2 wasn't just about building a new empire. It was about showing how fast things can fall apart. Every character made choices that pushed them closer to war. And Tommy, he was learning, step by step, that being the king of a city means having a target on your back every second. As we head into Season 3, one thing is clear. Tommy Egan may have survived Chicago so far, but peace is nowhere in sight. The past is catching up, new threats are rising, and the streets are about to get even bloodier. It starts with silence. Then the sound of boots on cold pavement. A blacked-out SUV pulls up under a flickering streetlight. The door opens, and while we don't see his face, we know exactly who it is. The energy, pure Tommy Egan, grit, confidence, danger. If the first behind-the-scenes shots and teaser footage tell us anything, it's that Season 3 isn't slowing down. It's going darker, deeper, and a whole lot bloodier. Let's break down what we know so far. Season 3 is officially in production, and fans have already caught glimpses of some key scenes being filmed on the streets of Chicago. One moment stands Out, Tommy walking alone through an abandoned warehouse lot hood up, hands in his coat, and a storm behind his eyes. It's clear this isn't the same Tommy from season 1. He's colder, more focused, less reckless. The loss of Liliana, the betrayal by Claudia, the constant attacks from all sides, it's all changed him. He's no longer just trying to build an empire. Now he's protecting it. And more importantly, he's protecting himself. Asterisk, another key. Detail spotted in early footage. Diamond and Tommy together in what looks like a tense face-to-face with a new crew. Both are suited up not in street clothes, but in sharp, business-level attire. This could mean that Tommy's operation is growing into something bigger, something more organized. Maybe he's moving toward legitimacy, or maybe he's just learning how to hide in plain sight. Either way, it hints at a new version of the game. Asterisk, one set photo shows Claudia Flynn on a rooftop at night, staring down at the city with a drink in her hand. The vibe, lonely, powerful, dangerous. Claudia's story in season 2 left her bitter and hungry. She lost her father's approval, her grip on the Dahlia operation, and her alliance with Tommy. But now she's moving alone, and judging by the visual cues, she's going full mastermind. Her role in season 3 looks like it will be more calculated and more lethal. Expect power moves, quiet takedowns, and probably some shocking double crosses. Asterisk, there's also talk of a new player entering the game, a man seen filming scenes with a military-style crew, tactical vehicles, and a heavy presence of surveillance gear. Could this be a new cartel connection? Or maybe a law enforcement group targeting Tommy's growing empire? What we do know is that power never introduces characters by accident. If someone new is arriving, especially with that kind of force, it means war is coming. Asterisk on the production side, everything about this season screams bigger. The locations are more spread out. We're seeing docks, luxury hotels, backroom meetings in upscale restaurants, and even glimpses of what looks like federal buildings. This tells us that Tommy's story isn't just staying in the streets, it's reaching higher levels. Politics, law enforcement, business ties. That expansion could be a blessing or a trap. Asterisk, even the lighting and color grading in the teasers feels different. Darker tones, cold blues, harsh shadows. It's not just about what Tommy's doing, it's about what he's becoming. The visuals are sending a message. Season 3 isn't about hustle. It's about survival, about evolution. And in this world, the only thing more dangerous than a man with nothing to lose is one who's already lost everything. Asterisk, and let's talk about the pace. From what little we've seen, the tension is nonstop. There's no sign of a slow buildup like in earlier seasons. Season 3 looks like it's jumping right into the chaos. That means unfinished business, payback, and probably a few shock deaths. Early on, the streets of Chicago are already divided, and now everyone's gunning for control. Asterisk, Tommy isn't just walking into danger anymore. He is the danger, and every new frame we've seen confirms it. Asterisk, asterisk. A pair of blood-stained hands reach into a sink. A silver chain swings as the water runs. Then a reflection in the mirror, cold eyes, steady breath, that familiar intensity. That's Tommy. That's Power Book 4, Force. And that's where we pick up with Joseph Sikora once again stepping into the boots of one of TV's most unpredictable anti-heroes. Asterisk. Let's break down the confirmed cast and why Season 3 may be the most character-driven chapter yet. Asterisk. First, and most importantly, Joseph Sikora returns as Tommy Egan. That's not just good news, it's essential. No one carries the story like Sikora. His performance mixes raw street violence with moments of deep emotional control. And in Season 3, we expect to see more of Tommy's inner conflict. He's lost people, made enemies, and turned his ambition into a full-blown operation. But there's a cost, and Tommy's starting to feel it. Asterisk. Sikora himself hinted in recent interviews that this season pushes Tommy into a sharper, darker mindset. So expect less wild card energy and more surgical precision. This is the version of Tommy that doesn't just react. He plans, he strikes. And when he hits back, he hits hard. Next up. Isaac Keys returns as Diamond, the combi for the Storm figure who's always one bad decision away from being pulled back into the street chaos he tried to escape. Season 2 showed Diamond trying to walk a tightrope, keep his barbershop legit, keep his brother in check, and keep his alliance with Tommy under control. But with Jennard breaking away and running his own operation, Season 3 may be the moment Diamond either doubles down with Tommy or walks away for good. And speaking of Jennard, actor Christy Lofton is also confirmed to return. Jennard became one of the most dangerous wild cards in Season 2, reckless, angry, and building his own crew from the ruins of CBA. He's young, ambitious, and burning with something to prove. While his moves have been messy, Season 3 might finally show him evolve into a true antagonist, not just a rival, but a threat. Then there's Lily Simmons as Claudia Flynn, cold, calculating, and more dangerous than ever. Claudia's transformation has been one of the most fascinating arcs in the Power universe. She started as the quiet daughter of a crime boss, but now she's running her own product, cutting deals in the shadows, and willing to kill to get ahead. With her father's grip fading fast, Season 3 could see Claudia go full queenpin, and if the leaked rooftop scenes are anything to go by, she's not hiding anymore. She's watching, waiting, and planning. Shane Harper as Vic Flynn is also expected to return, though his path is uncertain. Vic ended Season 2 broken heartache, betrayal, and the death of Gloria still haunting him. But we know Power characters never stay down for long. If Vic re-enters the picture, it might be with revenge on his mind. The real question is, will he go after Tommy, his sister, or everyone? Now let's talk about new additions, because Power always introduces fresh faces with big consequences. One actor spotted on set appears to be a military-type figure, possibly connected to law enforcement or a private security firm. He's seen in full tactical gear, watching Tommy from a distance. While no name has been officially attached, the casting choice hints at a more complex Power struggle in Season 3, one that may involve government pressure, wiretaps, or even a federal task force looking to bring Tommy down for good. There's also a female character, shown briefly in what looks like a courtroom hallway. Early speculation points to her being a lawyer or federal investigator, possibly someone who knows Tommy's real identity and isn't afraid to use it. If true, this character could bring a whole new dynamic into play: legal pressure, courtroom battles, and a smarter form of attack that Tommy can't simply shoot his way out of. And of course, let's not forget Serbian boss Mirkovic, who we last saw vowing revenge. Played by Boris Kajo, Mirkovic is ice-cold and methodical. If he returns as heavily rumored, he'll likely be the one bringing external pressure, tightening the net around Tommy and threatening his Chicago empire from the outside in. Altogether, the cast lineup for Season 3 is a pressure cooker. Old enemies, fragile allies, and new players bringing fire from directions Tommy never expected. Every face returning means unfinished business. And every new face means one more person ready to flip the board. In this world, loyalty is temporary. Power is rented, and everyone has a price except Tommy. It's quiet in the city, but only for a moment. Somewhere in the dark, a gun clicks, a lighter sparks. A deal is made with a handshake that won't last. That's how wars begin in the Power universe, not with explosions, but with silence before the storm. And make no mistake, Season 3 is the storm. The themes of Force Season 3 are already taking shape, even before the full trailer drops. This season isn't about building. It's about defending, surviving, and transforming. Tommy isn't just chasing power anymore, he's learning what it costs to keep it. Let's start with the heart of it all, Tommy's evolution. He entered Chicago looking to build something real, something that was finally his. But by now, he knows the truth. Every move he makes paints a bigger target on his back. Season 3 is shaping up to test his limits, not just physically, but mentally. He's been impulsive, angry, even self-destructive in the past. But now, we could be seeing a more strategic Tommy, one who plays the long game. Asterisk, that means calculated. Alliances, cutting ties before they become threats. And possibly turning on people before they turn on him. Asterisk, one major prediction. Tommy goes semi-legit, not because he wants to, because he has to. The streets are burning, the feds are circling, and even his own allies can't be trusted. To survive, Tommy may start fronting legal businesses, laundering his operation, and stepping into more sophisticated crime white-collar moves with street muscle behind them. Think distribution fronts, political handshakes, and clean money hiding dirty hands. Asterisk, at the same time, we expect a deeper conflict with Claudia Flynn, these to have unfinished business. Claudia has the brains and the connections to take over, but she lacks one thing, fear. And Tommy is the kind of person who teaches people how to fear him. Their dynamic is likely to shift into a high-stakes Cold War quiet moves, whispered threats, and sudden violence. They may never go head-to-head in a gunfight, but they're definitely headed for a clash where only one walks away with control of Chicago's future. Asterisk, then there's the law. In Season 3, don't be surprised if a full-blown federal task force is introduced. We've seen it in other Power series. The moment the law gets organized, everything changes. If the D or FBI steps in, we're no longer talking street wars, we're talking surveillance, informants, and legal traps. This kind of pressure could force unlikely alliances, Tommy and Diamond, or even Tommy and Vic Flynn working together to dodge prison time. Asterisk, and what about Diamond? His inner war is far from over. He wants out, but he keeps getting pulled back in. Season 3 might put him at a crossroads. Does he help Tommy rise or finally walk away and leave him to burn? A betrayal from Diamond would be personal, but renewed alliance, that would make them unstoppable. Unless Jennard gets in the way. Asterisk, speaking of Jennard, he's the powder keg. Young, furious, and too proud to play second to anyone. His crew is growing, but his ego is growing faster. In Season 3, he may not just be a threat, he might be the one to pull the trigger on something that causes all-out war. Picture this. Jennard trying to take out Tommy or Claudia and sparking a chain reaction no one can control. Asterisk, one wild prediction that keeps circling fan theories. A crossover with another Power character, possibly Braden or even Tariq, while nothing's confirmed. The Power universe loves to intertwine its stories. Tommy's past is still unfinished, and his name still rings out back in New York. If he gets pushed hard enough in Chicago, don't be surprised if he makes a call east or if someone from the east shows up with their own agenda. Asterisk, and let's not forget the Serbians. Mirkovic's grudge isn't over. If he resurfaces, he won't be playing games. He'll come with soldiers, weapons, and global connections. That would force Tommy to think bigger: international risk, smarter protection, and maybe even bringing in new partners who can match that level of firepower. Asterisk, Season 3's themes are brutal and clear. Power comes with a price. Everyone wants the throne, and no one gets out clean. This isn't just another season, it's a reckoning. Asterisk, as the pieces move and the city shifts, one thing becomes more and more certain. In a game where loyalty is rare and death is common, Tommy Egan's greatest enemy may not be the people around him. Asterisk, it might be the man he's becoming. Asterisk. A slow pan across an empty set. Camera rig standing still, rain tapping on steel beams. And then movement, a director's voice. A clapboard slaps shut. Action. That's where Power Book 4 for Season 3 stands right now. No longer just an idea, but officially in motion. The production for Season 3 is fully underway, and the timing couldn't be more critical. After the explosive ending of Season 2, fans were left with burning questions and zero patience. The Power universe doesn't sleep, and this next chapter promises to deliver on that urgency. Every update, every leaked photo, every on-set whisper confirms it. This season is about momentum, Let's break down where things stand and when we can expect to see it all hit our screens. First, the official confirmation. Starz renewed Power Book 4 Force for a third season not long after season 2 wrapped. That wasn't just a green light, it was a signal. The viewership numbers held strong, the fanbase stayed loyal, and Tommy Egan remains one of the most magnetic characters in the franchise. Starz knows that. So rather than delay, they moved straight into development. Principal photography began earlier this year, with cast and crew spotted across multiple locations in Chicago. But what's most important isn't just that filming has begun, it's how they're filming. The scale of this season is clearly bigger, more complex lighting rigs, larger production crews, scenes shot during both day and night cycles. It all points to a season that's not just continuing the story but evolving the world around it. Multiple reports confirm that Starz is aiming for an early 2026 release window, likely in spring or early summer, depending on post-production timelines. Why the long wait? Because Force Season 3 isn't being rushed. The team is taking their time focusing on tighter writing, deeper character arcs, and cinematic quality visuals that elevate the story beyond street-level crime drama into a full-blown gangster epic. Behind the scenes, showrunner Gary Lennon is once again leading the charge. His return ensures consistency in tone, pacing, and character development. Lennon has always understood what makes Tommy tick and what fans want to see from him. But more importantly, he's promised that this season will raise the emotional stakes, not just the body count. And if you've been tracking cast activity online, you might have noticed something else. The main actors have gone radio silent. Joseph Sikora, who's usually active on social media, has pulled back. That's a clear sign the cast is under heavy NDA lock-off in a move reserved for seasons with major plot twists or character exits. If the silence continues, expect something explosive mid-season. Production insiders have hinted at more use of practical effects, meaning the shootouts, chases, and action scenes will rely less on digital tricks and more on real-world tension. That also takes more time in both filming and editing, but it's worth it. The final product feels raw, grounded, and dangerous. Another key part of the process right now is post-production planning. Editors are already assembling early footage, locking down sequences, and starting to score scenes with the kind of moody, tension-filled soundtrack that defines the Power aesthetic. If that process moves smoothly, we could see a teaser trailer drop as early as late 2025, giving fans a first look at what Tommy's been building and what he's about to destroy. And let's talk about release strategy. If past seasons are any clue, Starz will likely lean into weekly episode drops, keeping the audience on edge and the conversation alive online. This format keeps tension high, prevents spoilers from flooding out all at once, and lets each episode breathe. Expect 10 episodes again, each more tightly packed and interconnected than ever before. So, what does that mean for fans? It means now is the time to rewatch, reanalyze, and get ready. Because once Season 3 hits, there's no looking back. Every alliance, every betrayal, every decision made in Season 2 is coming home to roost. And when the city lights come back on and that familiar theme song hits, we'll all be locked in again. In the meantime, keep your eyes on set leaks, cast interviews, and official Starz drops. Because when Tommy Egan steps back into the game, he doesn't just return, he rewrites the rules. And Chicago, it's about to bleed again.